Today I'm going to be introducing something a little bit different from Regal Robot. This is a bust of Phil Tippett, who was the head of the creature shop on Return of the Jedi and was directly or indirectly responsible for so many iconic designs from that film. But Mr. Tippett has done a lot more than just Star Wars. He's worked on so many iconic films like RoboCop, Willow, Jurassic Park, and Starship Troopers, to name just a few, and he's still working hard today. Regal Robot recently announced their Regal Icons line of busts with a release of two from A New Hope. There's Tarkin and Leia. They're in a faux bronze style, and I think they look really good, actually, and they're surprisingly cheap at $49. This one we're going to be talking about today is also part of the Regal Icons line, but it's kind of a separate subline, I guess you'd say, just for special effects and behind-the-scenes people. However, I should mention Regal Robot was quick to emphasize that this one is not part of their Star Wars line per se, and I could definitely see fans of his other work, his other films, wanting to display this alongside their collections. But realistically, I think probably most people will want to display it alongside Regal Robot's other releases, such as the Archive Collection maquettes, which I will be showing you in just a little bit. But first, we can look at the box real quick. This is, as I say, Regal Icons style box, and it features their uniquely Regal Robot sort of tagline there that they've started using recently. On the back it says, Regal Robot is proud to present our Regal Icons line of bronze-style busts crafted in high-quality resin. Each bust is meticulously hand-painted and features a patina for a realistic aged bronze look. So that's pretty cool. We'll look at this in just a second, but I do like the faux bronze look. I've used that in my own painting of various things over the years, and it's not really that difficult of an effect to pull off, but it really looks cool. So without any further ado, let's look at the actual bust itself. So if you know what Phil Tippett looks like, and I'll put a picture right up here, you'll see that this is actually a very good likeness of him, I think. It's definitely, assuming you know what he looks like, as I say, you're definitely going to recognize, I think, who this is supposed to be. He has kind of an iconic look of his own that they've really captured here. As I said, it's a faux bronze look, so they've got a kind of, a metallic, as well as a bit of a patina, a bit of a corroded look to it, which really helps sell this as a metallic bust instead of a resin one, which it is very much resin. Obviously you're not going to be selling a bronze bust for $49, but yeah, very cool look. And I could definitely see someone just sort of putting this on a bookshelf or on a desk or something and have it be just kind of a if you know kind of thing. It could be a conversation starter too. The people would be like, well, who's that? Oh, well, this is actually, Phil Tippett, and so forth and so on. I could definitely see it working in an office type environment. But yeah, realistically, I think, as I said, most people who are watching this anyway will probably want to display this alongside their Regal Robot statues, such as the maquettes from the Archive Collection line. So let's go ahead and see what that looks like. So I rearranged one of my shelves so that it would be just Phil Tippett maquettes and put his bust there in the center, and I think it looks pretty cool. I couldn't fit all of my Phil Tippett maquettes in there. Actually, Effant Mon is just too big, and I'm assuming that there will be more that come out in the future as well. So for this particular case, it might be difficult to fit them all just in one little display area, but this gives you some idea of what this might look like, and also might give you an idea of how this could look with other people if they were to release someone else potentially as a bust. You could have them kind of surrounded by their creations, which I think is a really cool idea. I don't know, I have no idea, in fact, who is going to be the other people that are going to be coming up in the line. I assume it's going to be more special effects people, behind-the-scenes people like that. Could even be some directors, I don't know. As I said, it's not limited to Star Wars, although, I'm sure getting George Lucas to approve something like this would be amazing, but perhaps not realistic. But, there could be other people who have done things that are willing to take part. In any case, I do think the potential audience for this is probably a little bit smaller than some of their other things, just because not everyone is a huge fan of behind the scenes stuff in movies and so forth, and they may not have ever heard of Phil Tippett or someone else potentially, but for those of us who know, if you know, you know, this is definitely a great opportunity to honor some of these people who were so instrumental in creating the movies that we love today. As I said, this is only $49, so I feel like it's not a huge, investment either. Kind of, if you wanted to add one or two of these to your collection, it's pretty easy to do so. These are going to be going up for sale as I put up this video, so they should be up right now. I'll put a link in the video description if you want to pre-order. I understand they're going to be in production for shipping later this year. But yeah, this is a really cool idea, I think, and I'm glad they started with Mr. Tippett, especially because of his role in creating so many of the creatures in Jabba's palace, including, his hand in creating Jabba himself. And I think he's going to go great in my display case. Well, that's about it for today. Thanks very much for watching, and we'll see you again soon.